Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Armchair Keepers of Arcane Secrets. I'm your host, Matt Ryan, joined by my good friend,
Bob Geis.
host number two. Now, folks, you all know the score. Bob and I are up to our necks in running Masks of Nyarlathotep, the Call of Cthulhu campaign, the classic, the,
Yeah.
the, the goat of campaigns, as they say. For my home group here in Ithaca, New York, and for Bob's group there in Indianapolis, Indiana.
That's right. That's right. And Matt, as I vowed to do last time, we finished England. We finished England. It was amazing. I'm so excited.
I can't wait to hear about it. Well, we did not finish Cairo, and we'll get to that once we get to the Matt recap portion of the show.
Oh my God.
But we're going to begin the show again with Bob's recap. Bob,
All
what's
right.
going
So they were going from Derby over to the Nays to the Mizzier house, and we picked up right there with no fiddling around. They had been invited there by Zahara to participate and really to execute her plan of overthrowing Edward Gavigan. So they drove over there, and they were welcomed there, right? So they were able to get through the bridge and the gatehouse because her people were there, and so let them in. And so they were like shocked. They didn't know what to think about that, but they went with it. They just went with it. And then they infiltrated the Mizzier house very nicely, right? Because again they were once they understood that they were part of the club, right? They really leaned into it and they acted like they were cultists, right? And well, where do we get our robes and where, this sort of thing and that sort of thing. And so they really explored the house. And so that was a lot of fun, because they went upstairs to to Gavigan's room and they raided his stuff and got the clues there. And we had talked last time about combining the clues. I didn't even have to.
You didn't need to, it sounds like.
Yeah, and then they went down to the little secret chamber and they sussed that all out. They found the clues. They found the clock. They found the marine chronometer, which is interesting because again they connected the two with the one that they found in New York. So that's going to be a
Hmm.
thing. Um,
Hmm.
they also found. I had introduced an NPC back at Henson Manufacturing who was a worker who mysteriously disappeared. And that fellow turned up in the dungeon of Mizzier House along
Oh,
with
nice. So you could do like a rescue thing.
Yes, yes. And so that's what I thought would happen. But my players instead said, we'll put a pin in that. We'll get back to you on the rescue. And we'll just leave you tucked away here in this nice cage where you've been starved and tortured for a few days. But it'll be fine.
Dear. Oh, dear. They did
Yeah.
lean into being cultists.
Well, again, my people, I'm beginning to wonder who really are the bad guys. So again, they swept through the entire house, and they went, scoped it all out. They found there's like I told them that there was a window that had a pretty good, not perfect, but a pretty good vantage point onto, the stela where the ceremony is taking place. And so, of course,
Yeah.
the guy that I knew would, set up stashed his rifle there, so he could use that for nefarious sniping purposes later.
Oh, that's great. Oh, well done. That's nice little setup there. That
Yeah.
must have made him excited.
No, he was very excited about this, and it came into play. So they did that whole thing. They found the ropes. They found the Gavigan robes, right? They found the Gavigan robes because he has fancy robes, right?
Yeah,
Fancy
he
robes.
does. Yes, he does.
But they did not use the fancy robes. They just used like I basically made on the fly three tiers of robes. There was like the servant robes, and there was like the standard, staff robes, and then there was the Gavigan robes. And so they took the staff robes. They were just, middle of the pack kind of guys.
Sure, sure, sure.
And so, and then they infiltrated the ceremony, such as it was. It was more of a because again, one of the things was that they were. I had set it up so that Gavigan was doing this ceremony to essentially celebrate the good work that Frank Marshall, who was the foreman of Hanson Manufacturing, had done. Right. So this is all about Frank. This is going to be a celebration of Frank. But Frank had a prior engagement with death the previous session, so he wasn't going to be attending. So they were Gavigan was disappointed that Frank didn't show up, so he in turn decided to make it a nice adoration session of a hunting horror that he was going to summon. So
Oh, keep going. I'm
Yep.
interested.
Yep. And so that's exactly what they did. They did their little ceremony, and I did the trick with the die. I took a D8 and I rolled a D8 behind the screen, and had a number. And then I put the number on one, and then I let the players fiddle around. Then I put the number at two, let the players fiddle around more. And so they didn't know what the die thing was about. Then they learned. And so I'd only rolled a three. So in my accounting, it was only going to take 3 clicks for the hunting horror to be summoned. And so while they were not doing much of anything, as the cultists were doing this, intoning this ceremony, they the die clicked up again, and sure enough, there was the hunting horror that appeared in space. The disappointing thing was, oh, go ahead.
So that I understand. So you've got a D8,
Yep.
you roll it behind in secret, and then you get a
Yep.
number. And then you take the D8 and you
Yep.
put it in front of the players on one.
Yes.
And
And
then
then,
they dither around a bit, and then you move it to two, and they
yep,
dither smart. So it's this count up.
count up to a number that they don't know, but they know that something's happening, right? So
Did they react when you moved the die?
they didn't. They just looked at it and kept dithering, right?
They're jaded. They're so jaded.
Well, they didn't know. Now they know. Maybe next time they'll react more appropriately. So in any case, got to three. The hunting horror appears, and 7 players, only one of them failed their sanity roll. Very disappointing.
We could do a whole show about this.
Yes.
That sanity is, well, the dice roll the way the dice roll.
Yes, yes. So, but in any case, it was coincidentally, it was the fellow, the marksman. The marksman was the one who failed his sanity roll. So I determined that he just, basically dropped. He had a gun, and he dropped his gun because they were getting ready to do some action at this point, right? So again, he dropped his gun and ran, right? So he ran, and I think he only ran for like a few rounds. So he ran, and it just so happened that he ran back towards the house. So he ran back towards the house, which served him well. Then chaos ensues. Chaos ensues. Um, the beautiful thing about it is that they go into combat. They kill Gavigan straight away. They kill him straight away. Then essentially what happens is that the hunting horror is snapping at people. They free the prisoners. They free the factory worker guy who basically just collapses in the catatonic state. They free Alicia and they rescue her. That will be important later. And then there's lots of combat with the cultists. Some of the cultists ran away. Some of them engaging in fighting. It's bedlam. So the hunting horror eventually is more or less leaves. During the combat, Zahara gets killed as well, right? And she was very potent, right? She was very potent, and she had a spell that flesh ward spell that armored her. But again, my guys are very very quick to go into combat and do things. So they took their lumps though. So she stabbed somebody with the club, or beat somebody with the club and stabbed them with the pokey end. So there was some blood that spilled there. But the important thing was that one of our players, Dr. Braun, who is one of the pre-gens, was felled in combat by a critical strike from the cultist. And now you remember I rolled the dice in front of the players so they saw it, and there was no getting around it. So he went down, right? He went down, and went into the death spiral that according to the rules, right? So he had a few moments, and then the combat is kind of breaking down. It's slowing down. The hunting horror begins to leave, but as he leaves, he snatches up another player in its tail, right? And it's flying off with him. And I talked about this last time. And so he was struggling. And so I gave him a chance to break free. So he broke free, but unfortunately, some time had passed. And so I gave him, it was, okay,
Oh,
roll a D10. That's how many feet, a D10 times 10, that's how many feet you're up. So he rolled a 10, so he's 100 feet up in the air.
Oh dear. Oh
So
dear.
I said, okay, okay, no problem. I'll give you a chance. Because you're going to be dropped into swampy ground. It'll be fine. You'll take half damage, but you have to take the fall damage, right? So, but he rolled like 50 points of fall damage. It was ridiculous
Oh,
for the
oh.
fall. And so he's dead. So Arnie, our young pilot, died. Johann Braun died. So we had a little bit of casualties. But the interesting thing is that one of the characters that is going to be taking the place of the fallen Dr. Braun is Yalisha. So she is now a player character in my group. So very excited about that. So we'll see how that shakes out. But it was a great session, and the important thing is we're on to Cairo. We're on
You're
to
on to Cairo. So
yes,
you're two investigator deaths.
two investigator deaths. Yep,
Is that your first two investigator deaths?
first two investigator deaths.
Well,
There,
we also had an investigator death. We had one.
that's
We
right.
had one, but I will get into that.
And you're up. You're up now.
All right. Um, so I wasn't quite sure what they were going to do. There was a lot of interest in the girdle of Necrotis or Nicotis or whatever the hell her name is. And sure enough, they started to investigate the girdle.
Mhm.
So according to the script, they have to go back and talk to the antique dealer, right? But I killed the antique dealer. I had the and here's what I did. I had the star vampires come again, burn his shop to the ground. He's dead. Uh, they've got Dr. Kafur with
Okay.
them, right? And they've got the newspaper dude with them as well. So they've got these various places they can go, right?
Okay.
So one of them says, well, it's too bad. It's too bad you can't talk to the dead to see what sort of information the guy had. The antique dealer had. Oh, maybe you can because one of the members of the Clive expedition is a mystic, and so they did. I made it super easy. She was having tea. Right. She's not a cultist.
Yep.
The Clive expedition is on a hiatus because they're working on the ceremony.
Hmm.
And the reason I did this is because
I think it's brilliant.
according to the great ceremony, the she and somebody else gets dragged in. She has to summon the spirit of Necrotis, and then she's sacrificed. So
Yeah.
I thought, oh, I'll make that meaningful.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so we're sitting around the table, and I light a candle, and she's leading them on the seance. I've got a full table, 7 players, and one reaches over and turns the light switch off, which is great, but it's what I was planning to do for the hunting horror.
Mm.
But they do the seance. He gives them the info, right? Oh, the
Uh-huh.
girdle is it's in the tomb of Ibn Tulan and blah blah blah. Um, and then they start sniffing around for information about the girdle and
Yeah.
ways to destroy it.
Oh, wow. All
And
right.
I give them that information too,
Yep.
right? It's in the text. So
Yep.
Kapoor says, well, it'll take me a day. The other thing that I did, or as we were sitting down and we did the recap, is I've got 2 investigators with mythos tomes loaded with spells.
Oh,
Not
wow.
loaded. They've
Yeah.
got they've got a couple spells each, but they have contact spells
Hmm.
and summoning spells.
Hmm.
So the contact spells, of course, they can speak with whoever's on the other end.
Yeah.
And one of them has contact the observer, which is a Yithian,
Okay.
and the other has contact the void, which is Nyarlathotep. So I explain to these two how spells work mechanically. I tell them the spells that they have. The other investigator has summons spells.
Yeah.
And I give him all the necessary tools. One of them is a summon dimensional shambler. Well, here's a
Okay.
copper knife. Just while you were out doing your whatever, you got a copper knife. You're right. So I'm setting them up to cast spells.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. The mystic, the seance, they find the information, and then they go and they go through the asylum and they meet the Nazir that's the head of the asylum, which is
Sure.
the tomb, or not the tomb, mosque of
Yeah.
Ibn Tulan. He tells them, he's very forthcoming, that they have the girdle, The Brotherhood's after the girdle, and it is protected.
Yep.
It's in the basement. It's behind two iron doors, and it's protected by holy warriors.
That's right.
And they said, well, can we see? And he said, sure, come on. So I made a little map. And here, you're going to put this on screen now.
Oh, yeah.
When it just shows the relationship of the Nazir's office and the stairs and the room that the tomb, the guarded chamber, right? But what's significant is I made a little shaded area to show the players the size of the room that we're actually playing in. So that this tomb, right, in pretend, the room that the investigators are in is not that much bigger than the room we are physically
Nice.
in. Okay. Nice. But I don't push it. I just say, look, here are the holy warriors. And I describe the holy warriors as old men that are mostly sitting around napping. and the player said, well, do they have guns? Oh, no, they have scimitars. So the players look at each other and they come up with a plan. And here's their plan. Half of them are going to go back to the hotel and cast their contact spells to find out more information.
All right.
And the other half are going to spend the night in the guarded chamber with the old men. And it could not have been better.
Wow.
So the dudes cast the spell. The one guy casts contact the mind of the observer, which is the Yithian from Australia.
Yep. That's awesome.
So, and I had to write down the name, the kakakakatak. Look, and then I drew a little hunting horror thing there too, because
amazing.
That's important too. All right. So he gets a little bit of information and they want to find out how to destroy the girdle. And I tell him, oh, yeah. I reaffirm. They want to know how to make space mead. Oh, find a copy of the Necronomicon. Oh, how do we do that? Okay. And then the other guy goes to cast his spell, contact the empty void, whatever it's called. And when Nyarlathotep talked to them last session, one of the players was possessed and Nyarlathotep talked through that player. I did the same thing again with a different investigator that was in the room. His eyes turned all black. Sure. And in this voice, he said to the investigator that cast the spell, what did he say? You didn't want to talk to me yesterday, but you want to talk today? And when they realized it was Nyarlathotep, they were speechless. They didn't know what to do then. They try to browbeat information out of them. I mean, that all was very good. That was very good. Meanwhile, back in the guarded tomb, they're all like, there's 4 investigators there, and there's 6 or 7 of the holy warriors. So it gets late, it gets late, and then I have the hunting horror summoned right in the room. I never said hunting horror.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I turned the lights off again, right? Yep. I shook the table. I said that there's something in the room and you can feel it brushing against you. And then I start pushing the players that are sitting next to me.
Yes.
It stinks. It's 4 times your size. It's thrashing around the room. And with the lights out, I had a camping kind of digital lantern that I could just snap up and put in the middle of the table. But people pulled out their phones so that they could look at their die rolls. And what I did, and we just went round by round, and I took a dice and I told them, everything was right in front of them. I said, I'm going to roll a number. If the number is higher than the number of investigators that are in this combat, which were 4, and I started, and we're going to count from Bob over 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it attacks one of the other people, and the dice cooperated. Round after round after round. The hunting horror was twice around, snapping and killing one of the holy warriors.
Oh my gosh. All right.
And they're trying to hurt the hunting horror, but it has 9 points of armor.
Oh my gosh, yes. They're tough.
They can't hurt it. Where's the coffin that the girdle is in? Oh, it's in an iron box chained to the middle of the floor. And they also realize, oh, the iron door is locked and we can't get out of the room.
Chaos.
But I knew, because I'm not a bastard. I knew that the hunting horror is a summoned creature with a task.
Yep.
Get the girdle.
Yep.
So it's not there to kill everybody. It wants the girdle.
Yep.
If any of the characters just hid in the corner of the dark room, they would be spared. I didn't tell them that,
Hmm.
but I knew that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So one investigator did. She crawled into a corner just to try to hide, and of course it worked. So the hunting horror kills all of the other holy
Oh,
warriors. It
oh,
kills them all.
amazing.
They've pulled the chains off the iron chest, and they've got the iron chest like it's a football. They don't know what to do. And then one of the investigators gets the brilliant idea to climb atop of the creature and ride it like a bull. So he makes a roll. Oh, the other thing too is they all know the percentage chance, and I'm rolling right in front of them, and I tell them the creature has a 65% chance to hit you. The creature has 2 attacks around. I'm telling them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I'm rolling right in front of them. The investigator jumps on his back. The creature whips its tail around and grabs him
Nice. All right.
and squeezes him.
Yes.
And I rolled 4d6, and they screamed 4d6. And the character did not have a scratch, and I rolled a lot more points
Yeah.
of damage than the character had hit points. And I said, I'm sorry. The character's name was Casper Yarborough, and I said, unfortunately, Casper is crushed to death. And
Good on you.
the player, Casper's, the Mitchell, who's playing Casper, Mitchell said he's popped like a meat balloon. Not knowing what to do, the one character whose idea it was to spend the night in the guarded chamber, he's holding the iron casket with the girdle, and he throws it at the creature
Oh my.
like an offering gesture, and the creature snaps it up in its mouth, plows through the iron door,
Oh wow.
flies up the stairwell, causing a cave in, smashes through the other door and through the ceiling. And there's a cave in, and they're trapped in the basement. And that's where we end. And it was fucking perfect.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
It was
Fantastic.
wonderful. Oh, and everybody said the same thing afterwards. I'm surprised more investigators didn't die.
That's right. That's right. They got lucky. That was great. Again, I think that's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Yes. The dice cooperated. Here,
Yep.
the players knew the score,
Yep.
right? And they knew how much damage the thing did. I'm rolling right in front of
Yep.
them. I'm also rolling for the one holy warrior who has the magic sword that could maybe hurt the
Yep.
thing. I'm rolling his percent chance to hit too, and he did never hit anything.
Oh my gosh.
And they're all screaming at, "Oh, come on, Nissen," or whatever his name is. Hit him.
He's 90. Give him a break.
And it was one of those things where, where even though there was an investigator death, we all were just so pumped up from the section. It
Absolutely,
was
of
just
course.
thrilling. We're on the edges of our seat. And Mitchell, who lost the character Casper, is now going to play Yolisha.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
And they all know the score. And this is where we're going to pick it up when we play in 2 weeks. They know that the Brotherhood has all 3 items. The Brotherhood is going to try to raise the Queen
Yep.
on the darkest night of the month, which is
Okay.
in 2 nights.
Okay, great.
They're trying to make this destructive goo that will destroy the girdle.
Okay.
And there's a chance that they can. I might let that work.
Okay.
I mean, it seems like things go better when the players have more things to screw up.
I agree. I agree. I already have a plan in mind. If my players get to the mummy thing and the mummy is resurrected, I'm going to have it be Zahara, right? It will appear as her.
Oh,
So that will be a nice callback to them. But in any case, well, that was a fantastic recap. We both had amazing sessions, and like you, I can't wait for the next one.
yeah, no, it was thrilling. It's everything that I want out of a role playing session. You
Exactly.
know, and all good. Okay, so we're a little long, but we've got 2 things to do, sports fans. We've got a new segment that I've called Beginning Keeper Tips. And in this segment, Bob and then I are going to offer, because you're a keeper. That's why you're watching this. You're a keeper and you're thinking, am I going to run this fucker? The answer is yes. And we've got a little beginning tip for you. Bob, what's your tip?
Okay, so as we've discussed today, character deaths happen, and you don't shy away from it. Don't don't do it willy-nilly. But when it happens, it's good. It's a good thing. It's not something that's going to be detrimental to the game overall. If a player's character dies, that contributes to the story. So don't spare any sort of fangs and claws or sanity loss, because it will serve the story.
That's a
That's
good
my
tip.
tip. Go ahead, Matt.
My tip is don't try to be perfect. As best as I can, I try not to open the book during the session. I make little notes and I just try to rely on my notes. And I don't worry about it being perfect. Remember, the players haven't read the book. So for the session we just had, I wrote down the names of the NPCs that they were going to interact with, and I have a quick little map of the room. Um, and if the NPCs don't say exactly the right thing, I didn't worry about it.
Close enough.
Close enough. Close enough. We'd like to thank Bridget Jeffries, who was our special guest. Thank you so much, Bridget. It was a pleasure chatting with you,
You
talking
so
with you. Now it's just wonderful to hang.
It is. It is.
And we've got more special guests in the queue, don't we?
Oh, yes, we do. We have a very, very special guest coming up. I can't wait to talk with this special guest.
Should we say who this special guest is going to be?
Well, I think we should.
The man himself, Mr. Mike Mason, is going to join us as our next special guest. He's got a busy schedule, but he's coming on. He's pulling up an armchair, and he's going to give us the lowdown on making and updating Mask of Nyarlathotep.
Amazing. So that's going to be something you'll want to make sure you're aware of. So subscribe and like. Do you see how I weave that in there?
It was good. It's almost like you're professional.
Almost.
Cheers, everybody.